Hey, what's up? It's Comic95, the Savior, and you guys are gonna have to forgive me. My voice is hoarse. I've had my air on all night. If you are living in Japan, specifically Tokyo, you know we've been going through a heat wave. I'm trying not to die in my sleep, so you have to choose between having a hoarse voice or, you know, waking up sweating in the middle of the night. But also excuse my TV. I have my Sims game playing in the background. It's on the loading screen. Or I guess the choose a lot screen. And I have my good old, is this green tea? Yes, green tea. Yes, sitting here with me. Try to keep my voice going. So yeah, I've talked about this topic a ton on my channel, and this is going to be a long video because there's a lot to be said here. But I figured that this was something that needed to be talked about in, I guess, a more calm way. So I'm gonna try to keep my voice down and not get all yelly and screamy with you, because then nobody gets their point across. So speaking of which, let me move my computer a little closer. Okay, so I wasn't actually looking for this topic for once, and I came across a video that was recommended to me. Now mind you, like, I know I upload content on this topic, but I don't watch the same content that I put out. So for example, I really don't watch YouTube like that, to be honest with you. I only watch my own videos. When it comes to watching YouTube, the only videos that I do watch sometimes, which I normally don't sit and watch them, is I normally like to watch things on the topic of like, on the topic of like finance, or like Disney World. Those are like the only two things that I watch videos on, and I normally have it as like background noise when I'm cleaning or cooking, etc. But otherwise, I like might go to YouTube and listen to like Juice World Radio, like something like that. Like I don't, or I love Steezy as fuck. I listen to chill hop music, but that's it. Like I don't sit and watch people's videos, especially on the topic of Japan. I live here. I know, and I know this sounds really weird because like there's people that live in Japan that are subscribed to me on YouTube, as well as people that are on Patreon, which, thank you. So as I said before, I understand it from their perspective, like, oh, I'm entertaining, or it's interesting to hear somebody else's life and their story, like how different your life could be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're living in the same country in the same place, but we're living two totally separate lives, like what I'm doing versus what you're doing. So I understand it. It's just not my personal cup of tea. But anyway, back on subject. Where was I? Yeah. I came across this video that was talking about hypergamy, and I saw two different sides of it. And of course, the first video that I saw, I actually clicked on it by accident because I wanted to watch both of them. I put them inside my playlist, but I accidentally played his video first, and it was shorter and hilarious. This dude did an entire PowerPoint presentation in front of a group of men. You can easily find these videos. I'm not going to advertise either of them. My goal isn't to start drama, but I felt that this needs to be explained and answered, especially since I talk about this on my channel. And he was basically given the same age-old excuses that men have always done, where he was trying to bash women for the idea of wanting to be in a hypergamous relationship, while also explaining why men deserve the ability to cheat by saying like, oh, you know, our seed is able to impregnate all these different people. So because you have the ability to do something, you do it. But we're going to get onto all of that stuff later on. So let me just explain in a nutshell. His video was basically saying that because men have the ability to get multiple women pregnant, he justified that we're not meant to be inside monogamous relationships, and that we've been allowing women to control us because women are the ones that want monogamy, and they're the ones that don't have the ability, you know, to get pregnant multiple times a year, which for some reason this has been the basis for justifying cheating for men. And I'm going to knock all of this stuff out in a moment. But anyway, he was trying to make it sound bad and was basically saying like, oh, like, you know, for us, like, you know, we marry down, like, we don't get anything out of it, like, you know, but for her, she either upgrades her lifestyle or she finds somebody that helps her maintain it. And in all of this conversation, you notice how nothing is being said negatively about what men look for in a partner, which is typically based off of looks, youth, age, beauty, you know, things that we've been doing since prehistoric times, just as women have been looking for partners that can take care of and provide for them. So I'm going to try not to make this too long, and I just want to wrap up all of this stuff in a nutshell. So his argument was basically that women are using you until they can get the next best thing, basically. That women are only after money and maintaining their lifestyle, and that they're selfish. Whereas for men, he made it sound almost like a charity case, like it's something sympathetic, where he'll be like, oh, like, you know, men are doing something that they're not built to do. They're not made to just be with one woman. And I thought that was interesting because he has this sympathetic side of it where he wants you, a sympathetic picture that he's painting for you, where you're supposed to feel sorry for men and feel like, oh, you know, they're going against the way that nature designed them to be. Whereas for women, we're being selfish when we go the way that nature designed us to be, and that we should be satisfied with whatever a man gives us. And then like I even saw people inside the comments talking about, you know, women not paying for their education or whatever. As soon as they get whatever, they're gonna leave you, and just all this type of crazy stuff like that. And so I just had to like counteract everything that this man was saying. So for starts, like I've said this on my channel before, or lower my voice. Women and men are different. We're not meant to be the same. We like different things, and that's how we make it work together as a team. Even when men are given the opportunity to date women that have money, most men don't like that. Most men don't want a woman to be equal to them to start off with. So it's not just a woman's thing. When men are choosing a partner, they normally want a partner that is lesser than them. Just same thing goes with age. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that it makes them feel less masculine. It's not just a feminism thing. It's not just a woman thing. Most men don't feel masculine when their girl makes more money than them. Why? Because for them, it's like losing a sense of masculinity. It's a sense of, you know, losing the dominance or whatever they felt like they had within that relationship, because they are the provider. You're reliant and dependent on him. And when you don't need that, it takes away from them feeling, well, masculine. Now, aside from how men feel, I'm just throwing that in there because people seem to forget about that part. The other issue that isn't talked about, like I said, is when men are choosing a partner, what do they look for? Are they looking for money? No, they don't care about how much money you make. Is it because women decide they don't want money, don't want education? No. In fact, the funny thing is that whenever I see people talk about these scenarios, they keep trying to make it sound like, oh, look, you know, well, men are forced to marry down. No. You choose to. Why do men choose to? Why do men choose to marry down? Why are they getting these women that are, you know, basically going to make him hypogamous because he's going to bring her up? Why do men choose hypogamous relationships? Oh, exactly, because they decide that beauty and youth is of more value than money. Men have the same option that women do. The difference is that they choose differently because what? They're men. And guess what? Men and women are different. Men have the option to choose the big, fat, ugly, you know, I'm going to talk about black people because I'm black. You can choose the big, fat, ugly black girl that has a PhD, educated, well-dressed, has money, nice car. But you don't go after her. You go after the ghetto hot mama black chick on fries at McDonald's. Why? Because you want somebody that's attractive and young. What's wrong with her? She's 32 years old. She ain't that old. Oh, but she's too old for you. You want a younger woman, and she's not attractive to you. She's too big. Her face is ugly. You don't care about her education. You would rather have a woman that is less attractive. You'd rather have a woman that's more attractive but makes less money than a woman that makes more money but is less attractive. You've made the same decision that women have to face too. As a woman, you have to decide. Do you want a man that makes money but is less attractive? Or do you want a man that's really handsome but makes no money? The difference is women choose the reverse. We are going to go for the guy that is less attractive but that actually has money. We have the same scenario in front of us, and nobody ever talks about that when we get on this topic. So just as you have made a conscious decision that you value beauty more than money and education, women have made a conscious decision that we value education and money more than beauty. Funny how you don't talk about that part of it. The other interesting thing too is we don't talk about the reason why women want a man that provides. This argument is so stupid because this is like telling a woman that because, oh, well, you're already beautiful, so why do you need a handsome partner? When I see the dumb argument of, well, she already has money, so why do you need a man that makes even more than you do or the same that you do? You can already provide. Oh my God. Just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean you want to be the one doing it. That kind of defeats the purpose in getting married. Not to mention, do you forget that, you know, somebody has to take care of the kids, homeschool them, daycare, babysit them? You know, things that other people shouldn't be doing for you. It's not normal for your kids to go to daycare. Let me explain that to you. That's not normal. Daycare should be a means of when you're going out for a date night or you want to socialize your children, but it shouldn't be a need where you're like, I have to call off work because the daycare is closed type thing. That's not normal. That's not the way relationships are supposed to work. Why would you want a man that cannot provide? And the idea that whenever women talk about money, it's a matter of wanting to go out for spas and fancy vacations and luxury. Did you ever think maybe it's because instinctively we care about our children? We want our children to have experiences, a good education, and of course we do too. Why do we want to suffer when we get married? What woman says, I can't wait to get married and have nothing? Why would you want to marry a man that can't pay basic bills? That can't afford for your children to go to school? Why would you want to marry a man that means I'm going to lose my lifestyle? That would make zero sense. For you as a man, you don't marry a woman that's going to take away from your lifestyle. You simply do what you can to make enough money to provide for her and whatever children you have together so that you can have a good life for everyone. Why is that so hard to understand? Not to mention the idea that you're expecting a woman to both like the same thing that a man does, while at the same time not getting the same treatment that a man does. Because based off of your own videos, it's not enough for us to decide that we want a broke man. Now you're trying to justify the fact that because men have the ability to impregnate multiple people, that they are being held back from doing what their intended purpose is, and blaming women for their want for monogamy, which is really stupid because normal men do want monogamy for starts. Men don't like the idea of being cheated on back. But the excuse that because your dick is capable of getting multiple women pregnant at the same time, that's your excuse for it. Well, by that standard, as I said before on my channel, I can say that women can do the same thing. Women can get pregnant more than once within a year. In case you didn't know that. 9 months is not 12 months. Secondly, not just that. Okay, why do we have to stick with you just because of 9 months? Who's to say that after those 9 months, I don't get tired of you and I want a new partner too? Because let's face it, you don't make as much money as our next door neighbor. So should I fuck him and get pregnant by him next? So that this way I'm maximizing the amount of options that I have when it comes to financial resources. Because now I get child support from him and you. Oh, you never thought about that, did you? That would make too much sense. Because at least for us, it only makes sense. We like money, right? We like protection, security. Why not get that from multiple people? You all like sex and pussy so much. You're willing to marry a bird brain because she looks pretty in the face for 10 years and then be ready to kick her to the curb at 30. Oh, you never thought about that, did you? This is such a stupid argument. Not to mention, just because you have a want for something, a desire, does not make it normal, natural, or okay. Because by that standard, then you could argue things like liking and dating children is okay too by your standards. And I was like, oh, how do you go? Hold on. Hear me out. Because by that standard, okay, men are attracted to beauty, sexual attraction, youth, fertility. The only thing stopping you from dating a 15, 14, 13-year-old is because society told you not to. And if you know how old that person is, now you've changed your morals and you've decided, okay, I don't like that person, not going to look at them. But unless there's a clear giveaway sign or somebody tells you how old they are, you'd be denying the fact that let's keep it real, especially now as adults, because now we're not kids anymore. There are several people you can look at on Instagram right now who have extremely inappropriate pages, and you look at them. I've even followed some of these girls, and I'm like, you're not 18? Oh my God, you're 14 years old, you're 15? What? Why are your parents letting you post like this? You see it all the time. Now, a lot of men are going to ask you how old they are, how old you are. They're not even going to care. All they see is breasts, ass, bikini. I'm going to fap to her. Now, you can argue that because you're a man and you like what you see, what you're doing is right. Or you can accept the fact that just because your body has an urge to want, do, like, and pursue something does not justify make it okay. We all want to lie, steal, and kill. Does that make it okay to do? No. Do we say, well, it's only because of these stupid U.S. laws that I can't murder people? No, we accept the fact that, yes, we get angry, we want to do bad things to other people, but it doesn't make it right. It's normal to have these thoughts and be upset about stuff, but it doesn't make acting on them correct or morally okay to do. Likewise, just because you have the ability to impregnate multiple people does not mean that this is how you were intended to be and it's okay to do. That's kind of self-explanatory. So, and then again, it's funny. Men can justify that with their sexual urge because they don't have the ability to control themselves. What you're saying to me is, I don't have self-control. I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want to be able to cheat on you, but I don't want you to do it back to me because it makes me feel bad. Because see, the other issue is, most of these men, they're not okay with the idea of you cheating. They just want to be able to cheat on you because they want other pussy. But if you want other dick, you want somebody else to provide for you, then it makes them angry. Because then in their mind, it's like, how is my penis not enough? How is my money not enough? Oh, well, my pussy wasn't enough. You can have a man that's 30, 20 years older than you, and he's still going to want a girl younger than you. You're going to age. You can't help that. Every year, you're going to get a little bit older. And eventually, he's going to decide you're not attractive to him anymore. He's going to move on to the next thing. Okay, well, likewise, you might have money, enough money for me to marry you, but stop me from it. What about a millionaire? What if I want a billionaire? What if I get the option to date one of them? So should I jump to the next person into? Because I already trapped you, I got your baby. Oh, that wouldn't be okay anymore, right? So you understand how awful it feels to get cheated on. Men don't like getting cheated on. It hurts their pride. But as a woman, we're supposed to suck it up and say, well, you don't have the ability to, get pregnant by multiple people, within one cycle, whatever. So that's your excuse? So treat me like trash, even though you don't want to be treated like trash. And I should accept it because you have the ability to do that. Interesting. Also, if we're going to talk about prehistoric stuff, how come we can only accept the fact that men have the ability to impregnate multiple people? And using the stupid fallacious argument that this has always been done back in the day. But then at the same time, you discredit women's want for hypergamous relationships since the beginning of time. You conveniently ignore that part of it. That's not mentioned. You just focus on the fact that since the beginning of time, allegedly, it used to be normal, which that's not entirely true either, for men to spread their seed amongst the world. And things were good back then. What you're really getting at is, I miss the good old days where we can cheat on and beat women and we didn't have to make a lot of money because women made no money. So everyone was in a hypergamous relationship. That's what you're really getting at. Because at the same time, you're denying women the hypergamy that they've always wanted from the beginning of time. And like I said, whenever men don't make money, or even when they do, when they're jealous, bitter, jaded, they always try to twist it. Because deep down inside, you just want to be a bitch. That's what it all comes down to. You want to be a woman. You try to twist it and make it sound like, oh, she's only after the money. She's a bad woman. She's a bad girl. And it's like, okay, you're only after beauty and looks. Which, as I said before, this is actually the harder trade-off. I can't decide. I did not tell my parents to fuck each other and make me. Even if you did, you get completely... I don't look anything like any of my siblings. If you saw me and my brother, we had the same mom and dad, you would not think we were related. Even when I was a child, when I would hang out with him, people thought that he was my boyfriend. You can't tell that we were made by the same two parents. And I got a DNA test to prove that we were. But you see what I'm saying? Completely random genetics. But money? You can choose the exact dime that you make. Especially when you live in a developed country like America. Richest country in the world. Most powerful. If I decide, which is what I did, it's just how I'm living where I am right now. If I decide I don't want to be poor, eating ramen noodles and hot dogs from Oscar Mayer's every week and having the same peanut butter and syrup sandwiches and butter sugar rice, if I decide that I'm tired of eating like that and living like that, I can choose I want to make more money. I'm going to get a higher education. I'm going to get a better job. What I can't do is change what I look like. I can lose weight. I can dye my hair. I can do little things to alter myself. But physically, plastic surgery can only do so much for you. And your DNA remains the same. And that's not good enough for men either. Because then if you go through the hassle of getting all of that surgery done, men will not like you because now you're fake, you're plastic, or whatever. It doesn't feel natural. You can't win. But where and how can you win? With money. For men, You don't need to be handsome. Really, men get two different options to get women. You can be a handsome man and get women that way, because there's going to be plenty of girls that'll date you even although you have no money. And the easier route, long-term easier, make money. You can get the exact same education that a woman has, but your education and money is more valuable than you just because you're a man. Do you see how easy that is? Your money benefits you, plus your wife, plus your kids, your family, anybody that you choose to have it benefit. And now you can choose from the top of the line, 9s, 10s. You can date those type of girls. Just from having a career, which you should want to have anyway for yourself. As an adult living in a developed country, you should want a good education, a good career. Women are bad for telling you basic shit that almost half of all adults in the U.S. have anyway. That's crazy to ask for. That's too much to ask for. You want a girl to spend her entire life chasing after youth and beauty, going completely against human nature and nature itself. What do we get from you all? Y'all get beer bellies, you get wrinkles, man boobs, balding, eyes aren't even clear anymore. Everything that you can think of that makes you look old as a man. And women accept this. We understand it's human nature, you're going to age, biology. But you don't understand that on women. And for you, you have to continuously chase after beauty, a younger, more attractive, beautiful woman. You want a woman to play equal with you when you want them to, in situations like this. So you want a girl that's willing to push out your babies, deal with being pregnant while working, go back to work if her job even gives her some sort of maternity leave after just a few months. That's not normal. How's that even fair? You don't even understand what it's like to be pregnant or to go through that because you're not a woman. You want a woman to be willing to build with you when you offer the same shit that a woman offers, if even that. You shouldn't even feel like a man saying the shit that you are. And as I said before, using the whole little traditional fallacy thing is a load of BS. Times were different back then. Women couldn't vote. Women couldn't work. They were denied education. Of course, we put up with crap that we shouldn't have been back in the day. And now that we have the ability to work and get educated, now you all are mad because we're asking you to at the very least, meet us where we are. Because yes, if I'm going to stop working to carry babies, to clean the house, to cook the food, I do want a partner that can at least sustain the lifestyle that I had prior to me getting pregnant, prior to me meeting you. Why would I want otherwise? Likewise, we understand that men want beauty. That's the reason why we get all this plastic surgery done, wear makeup, care about our clothes, care about our health, our weight, everything else. It's for men. We don't care about this. Women will lie and say, oh, we do for us to compete with other girls. Yeah, to compete with other girls for other men. Nobody wants to say that. It's the truth. Likewise, for men, you're not just competing to attract women with your cars and watches and things like that. You want to show other men, I have this stuff, this is my status, my class. I can attract women that you can't. You're doing it for women. But the easy thing about it is, you don't have to. If you decide you never want to date again, it benefits you. But as a woman, if I decide I'm done with men, I got to spend just as much time recovering, paying for the removal of this stuff, and risking my life all over again to get implants removed. Can't really get my face back after I F with that. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's a win-win situation as a man. Your education and money benefits you and earns you respect in the real world and in the dating world, and allows you to provide for your wife and children, which you should want to do as a man. As a woman, me looking pretty don't do shit. And also, let's keep it real. Beauty don't pay bills. It does not contribute to anything other than potentially making pretty kids for you. You don't have to be attractive to make a good mom. You do need money to be a decent father. How are you going to feed, excuse me, how are you going to feed your kids? How are you going to pay for their education? You want a partner that gets nothing out of the relationship, basically. Excuse me. But of course, you get everything you want. Need to drink some tea. Excuse me, y'all. But yes, like, okay, you're supposed to be okay with having nothing. How my voice is back. You're supposed to be okay with having nothing. You get nothing out of the relationship. You know, no trips, no vacation, no regular life. You got to go back to work after having kids. And it's one thing if you choose to do it as a woman, but the fact that's not even an option. And the other thing is, too, you have to keep in mind, when you all talk about the expenses of kids, a lot of the things y'all talk about that are so expensive, so hard with children, is because you're dealing with a man that doesn't make man money. Let me say that again. You're dealing with a man that does not make money like a man, basically. That's the real issue here. Because if you were, daycare shouldn't even be an expense. You can take it. That's the purpose of being a housewife. You take care of the kids. And when needed, sure, maybe daycare to socialize them or, you know, go to the park, whatever type thing. Understand. But daycare should not be a need. That's rent money, especially in the U.S. where it's extremely expensive. But yeah, it's so crazy to me that men, they're like pointing back to how things used to be. And it's like, yeah, and back in the day, we couldn't vote, we couldn't work, we couldn't get an education. So yeah, of course, you could also beat on us too back then. You want to go back to those old days? Is that what you're saying? and they do secretly. And it's so crazy to me that instead of being like how women are, now that we've been given an opportunity to work to get an education, we've taken full advantage of it. And instead of men being like, okay, maybe I should get a higher education. Maybe I should make more money so I can attract, you know, the woman that I want. No, the solution is I shouldn't have to work. What happened to the good old days where I can cheat on you and beat you and you would stay? These women aren't loyal. What's wrong with these hoes? That's exactly what men act like now. They act like it's pulling teeth. They act like it's pulling teeth. The idea of going back to school or going to school, period. The idea of making more money. Why would you not want to be a good provider for your family? Why do you want your family to live paycheck to paycheck? Why, as a man, would you want your wife to be working when you have children? Also, this villainous idea where you paint women as being these bad gold diggers and users. You're a user. How many of you all look for older women? How many of you all look for women that have degrees? You don't. You choose that you want beauty. So don't be mad when beauty is all you get with no brains. Likewise, women don't bitch about that. We choose men because they have money. And you don't hear us bitching and complaining about how ugly they are. No, we recognize that we made a sacrifice. We made a choice. We decided, yes, Pookie and Ray Ray look good, but I don't want no factory nigga that's working at Amazon overnight. That's not cool with me. And because of that, I decided I would rather have a lame nigga that make rich nigga money. We chose differently. Y'all the only ones mad. Because the problem is, you all feel like, oh, well, back in the day, you would have been satisfied with X, Y, Z. And it's like, yeah, back in the day, you didn't need as much money either. You ever heard of inflation? Like, times have changed. Women didn't have the rights that they have now back in the day either. In some places, we couldn't even get a divorce. You ignore all of that. You ignore the abuse that went on, etc. And you also forget that, okay, just like how you benefit by sleeping around with different women, we benefit by sleeping and we even gotta sleep with them. There are men that are willing to pay for you just to date them because they're lonely. By your standard, if we're talking about back in the day and about human nature and biology and the way we're psychologically designed, what's stopping me from cheating then? Because I don't even need the sex part of it. Hand me some money, buy me a bag, buy me some food, we straight. Oh, you don't want to hear that part though. Then I'm a bad woman for even thinking about that. But you're not a bad man for using the fact, well, since my dick can spread seats everywhere, I should be able to fuck whoever I want to. F monogamy. That's your solution. But if I say the same thing in reverse for women, then you get mad. Women you can't give birth twice in a year, technically. But you can get pregnant twice in a year. That is definitely possible. By two separate men, too, at that. So let's get that out of the way. And again, the idea that, okay, because you can do something, it's now right. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can have sex with a minor too. Does that make it right? No. Just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean that it's okay to do it. And to not do it is going against human nature. Well, we all want to lie instinctively. Does it make lying okay? No. There are urges and things that you want to do that are sinful in nature. And you have to simply deny yourself those urges and decide this is not morally right to do. That's facts. Simple as that. Not that hard to understand. Not to mention, like I said, men have this idea that women want some millionaire guy. Not to say, of course, who wouldn't want that? Likewise, as a man, of course, men don't necessarily need a girl that's a 10. But if you have the option between dating a 10 and a 7, who are you going to go for? You're going to choose the 10. Why would you not want to stick your dick and have a 10 riding you? It only makes sense. Okay, as a woman, if I have the option between a man that makes $200,000 a year versus a man that makes $5 million a year or $2 million, who do you think? It's a no-brainer. Of course, I'm going to want the richer man. Likewise, you're going to want the younger, fitter, more attractive woman. Why would you not? Better body, better face, younger in age. Okay, for me, more money, better education, possibly older even. Like, you see what I'm saying? We want different things, and that's okay. Quit trying to be a bitch. Y'all talk so much about masculinity, red pill this, red pill that. But then in the day, it's like, y'all are really just crying about how you want to be a woman. You're jealous that women are in hypergamous relationships. And you feel like it's not fair because all women have to do is sit and look pretty and be young. But then you forget, beauty doesn't last that. Especially not for non-black women. I'm just keeping it real. It's like, okay, you want a girl and you get mad because you want to have the ability to attract the opposite sex like how they do. But then you also forget there's a trade-off. As a woman, you're either born ugly or you're born attractive. Simple as that. Then aside from that, regardless of how you're born, people are going to judge you based off of your age. And your age will start to show as you get older. That's inevitable. Meaning that no matter how cute you were, and no matter how good your genes and DNA is, it will no longer be recognized as a reason to date you as you get older. Now that's unfair. And you really have less than 10 years. Because most people aren't even thinking about getting married until they're at least about 21 years old. So you're automatically dealing with less than 10 years. And fine, if you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, you have about 12 years between the ages of 18 to 30 years old. At 30, you're starting to seem a little bit old to men. Will they date you? Yeah, but you're not really a preference. They want a girl that's in her 20s. They want a girl like me. In fact, even for myself, I'm on my way out of my 20s. Only have a few years left here. I'm 26 years old. Do you see what I'm saying? Now that's not fair. I can't help the fact that I'm going to get older. And we're required to learn all of this stuff early on. And most of us never learn this stuff. It becomes too late. And some people spend their whole lives never knowing. Whereas for men, even if you are 60 years old and it just dawns on you, oh, women want men that have money. Okay, you can go back to school today. And what do you know? You get a honey on your arms as soon as you graduate. And it's funny that men don't like the idea of being used for money, but it's like, how do you think we feel when a guy's only liking us because we're a 20-something young, dumb blonde type personality? When men only like us for our beauty and our youth. You know, things that actually do fade and go away. Money does not. You can mishandle your money and lose it. But as long as you continue working, you invest your money, you save it, it lasts generations. It's always, in fact, fuck the money part, your education is always there. You can always move to another job and make money again. As a woman, you don't get a second chance. When you turn 30, that's it. Once you start getting wrinkly, gray hair, ugly, that's it. Plastic surgery can only do so much for you. Most of it has to do with genes. Plastic surgery is not going to turn a girl that's a 2 to a 10. Don't work that way. But money most certainly can turn the ugliest, fattest, brokest, shortest nigga into a 10 in a woman's eyes. Do you see what I'm saying? Now that's unfair, but y'all don't like talking about that advantage that you have. It's the end of the world because all we ask is for you to at least match us or make a little bit more. But you're so used to being lazy. And it's funny, y'all talk so much stuff about alpha male, red pill, whatever. How is that alpha and red pill to be a bum satisfied making 2 cents per year? You're not even making the average 65K salary. That's asking for too much. Making $100,000 a year isn't a lot of money, might I also add, if you're living in the United States, because most Americans live in one of the major cities. Meaning that you live in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. You live in one of those three places. And in neither of those three cities is $100,000 a lot of money. Especially not in no damn New York. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, somebody asked you to make a decent salary to live a decent life is not making them a gold digger. A gold digger is somebody that is strictly with you for the purpose of money. Wanting that as a quality in a partner that you choose to marry is understandable. Just like as a man, we're not going to call you a womanizer, a pimp, a flirt, whatever, because you want a woman that's beautiful. Why would you not want that? It's understood that beauty does matter. It's not superficial. In fact, what's superficial, dumb, and fake and phony is pretending like love pays bills, because it doesn't. Pretending like beauty doesn't matter is also stupid. There's some girls and even some men that, oh, you shouldn't choose a partner. Yeah, you should. There's a reason why beauty exists. There's a reason why we are attracted to people that look good. Why are we trying to deny ourselves? There's a reason why women want protection. We don't have to deny ourselves the fact that biologically we want a partner that looks good. We feel a certain way around them. We didn't say it's everything, but it definitely is something. It's a huge factor in how you choose a partner. Just like how personalities are a huge factor in how you choose your friends. You wouldn't want to be friends with somebody that has polar opposite interests as you. Why? Because they wouldn't be fun to talk to or hang out with. Likewise, if you have a partner that, forget about what society thinks, if you have a partner that you are not sexually attracted to, it's going to be hard to have a good relationship with them. Because you're simply not attracted to them. You're having to force something. Okay, as a woman who wants to have children like how most women do, who wants to have a decent life, who doesn't want to have to worry about being put on bed rest and who's going to pay the bills or have to worry about quickly going back to work after she has a baby, who doesn't want to have a life like a man, because we're not made to work like how men are, quite frankly. Just like men are not made to be looking beautiful and caking on makeup and getting spa treatments, etc., like how girls do. Women accept that. Why can't men accept that? Why is it so hard to understand? You all talk so much about how you want to be alphas and dominant and red pill this, red pill that. But then it's like the more that you talk to these people, it's like you sound like a bunch of angry, bitter, broke men who are upset that you can't get the most beautiful, young, and attractive woman because you don't meet her expectations or exceed them. You want a girl that's out of your league, because the reality is, no matter how short, fat, ugly, or broke you are as a man, there's plenty of girls that'll still marry you. It's just not the girls that you want. And that's the issue. Women recognize that if we want a man that has this stuff, we have to work on our looks. We have to smell nice, dress nice, look nice. Whereas for you as men, you're like, oh, what a beautiful woman. I want her. And then you get angry when you see that that beautiful woman has high expectations for what she wants in a man. As an attractive woman, why would you choose to settle down with a man that's not even making an average salary? Or even someone that's making an average salary? Why would you choose average when you can have above average? Men don't do that. When men have the option, no matter how ugly, short, fat, broke, whatever he is, uneducated, when men are given the option, do you want an average looking girl or beautiful? They will always go for the beautiful. They are not going to say, well, you are average and I am an ugly man, so this is enough for me. No, they're not going to do that. They're going to go for the beautiful girl. Why do you want women to say, well, I could have a man that makes more money, but you know what? F it. I'm going to just settle for you. You don't even like the word settle. That makes you angry too. It is crazy because men have it much easier than men. I mean, easier than men. They have it much easier than women. Calm down. They have it so much easier than women do. All you have to do, you ain't even got to go to school. But going to school is a shortcut. It's a cheat code. Go to school for a job that gives you, a career in a high-paying profession. And you're set. For women, we can't do that. You can get mad at your parents for creating you. But you cannot make yourself look significantly better. And even if you do little things to alter your appearance, that makeup is going to come off. You can diet all you want to. You can get all the plastic surgery that you want to. But if you an ugly or average girl, you still finna be ugly or average when that shit come off. Your DNA gonna make ugly average babies too. Men don't even have to worry about their looks. And technically, like I said, you get 2 different chances to pull bitches. You can either be a handsome, tall guy and immediately get girls based off of that, or you could be the guy that has money and get an even higher pick of women. So you win both ways. As a woman, we don't attract more men by making more money. In fact, if anything, we intimidate more men because they assume our expectations are going to be high. They assume our personality is going to be more masculine. Do you see what I'm trying to say? You can't win. And y'all are mad because you have an extra option. And then, like I said, it's conveniently funny how they ignore the fact that just as there's things you biologically want, we do too. You use history as an excuse to say why it's okay to cheat. History and biology. But then you don't like when that history and biology doesn't work in your favor. Because like I said, women have the ability. It's not like if we have sex with one guy. Look, oh my God, perfect example. Look at animals. Cats are a prime example. Do you know that female cats can get impregnated by more than one cat within one pregnancy? That's why you got cats that have litters of kittens that look nothing alike to each other. She can get pregnant by more than one man. Or should I say more than one cat? More than one tomcat. Love to hear your thoughts on that, man. Since you keep trying to talk about history, biology, and prehistoric stuff, and animals, and how it's not in men's nature. Same thing goes for animals. And forget about that. Let's say for the animals that don't have that, capability. Okay, how many animals are monogamous then? A lot are, but there's plenty that also are not. Do cats normally stay with the same partner? No. She'll get pregnant by one cat, and 6 months later, it'll be a new cat. That's her, her man, her baby daddy. Okay, women can do the exact same thing, but you don't like that part of it though. Why is there a cutoff time frame? So because we can't get pregnant multiple times back to back within a day. A year is too long. That means that we can only have a monogamous relationship. Ever heard of short-term dating? So do you see what I'm trying to say? Who's to say that our only purpose in having a relationship is to have children? Because what if I don't want kids? Does that mean I get to cheat and run around like how you do? Nope, you wouldn't like that excuse. See how dumb and, whatever, ungrounded, whatever you want to call it, this argument is? It makes no sense. Having the ability to do something does not make it right. Wanting to do something does not make it right. No, it just means you learn to control your dick and keep it to yourself. And think about what you have. It's not the end of the world. Y'all act like somebody's literally killing you all and sawing off your dick because they're asking you to stay faithful in a relationship. And it's really funny because men don't like being cheated on. Men take getting cheated on worse than women do. They get more jealous and angrier. And it's so funny that the image that they have of women being cheated on is this bitter, controlling, selfish girl that wants you all to herself. And it's like, you want the same thing. Men want to literally F the whole community, but they don't want any of the girls they're effing to do it back to them. In fact, it reminds me of a guy that I just got through dating. I'll talk about this later on. But it's like, okay, it's okay for you to use me to have sex. But if I use you for a free meal, or you think I'm using you, I should say, because I don't do that. If you think I'm using you for a free meal because I'm not willing to have sex on a first date, you get mad, act like you've been played, you're hurt, women are bad, they're users, whatever. Well, I said bad, like I was a lamb, or goat, whatever. But you see what I'm saying? They act like you're the worst person in the world. And it's like, I didn't say I was using you for a free meal. I'm using my brain. I'm thinking to myself, why would I have sex with you on the very first date? What if you ghost me? And sure enough, I'm right. Because you got mad at me because I didn't do that. What normal man does that? Do you see what I'm trying to say? And then it's also interesting, these same men, when you don't do what they want you to do, they get angry at you. But then if you do what they want you to do, then they label you as a whore. They're going to the next, oh man, 4 women are so easy. But then it's like, okay, I was doing what you asked me and pressured and coerced me into doing. Then I get punished and labeled as being easy and a slut, when really I'm just trying to do what you pressured me into doing. This wasn't my idea, but it gets pinned on me. Then if I don't do what you tried to coerce me into doing, then you run around and pretend like you're the victim, when in actuality I'm the one smart bitch that got away because you pulled that over on everybody else. You played the I'm a doctor, I'm so in love with you card. And when it wasn't enough to get me to drop my panties, then you got upset. You're a wolf in sheep's clothing. And the crazy thing is, these men, they're so psychologically fucked up. I don't think any of the men that have ever played that game with me, and I ended up being the winner, actually realizes that they were trying to trap me. They literally feel like I played them. And technically I did, because ultimately I got something out of it and they didn't. But that wasn't my intention. If you were serious, you would have gotten that. I would have had sex with you eventually. You couldn't even make it to the third date. And not that that's my rule of dating 3 times, but you see what I'm trying to say? You wanted what you wanted right now. And when I don't give it to you, that upsets you. Men don't like being cheated on, but they love to cheat. They get angrier than what they'd be ready to literally kill people. Fight to death over girls. But they blame you as being psychotic when you want to protect your relationship. Which is why I don't even bother that crap. If a man cheat on you, leave his ass. Don't give him any favors or benefit, whatever, but showing that you're crazy. That's why I said to y'all girls, I have never seen girls do this in Japan. If a man is ever cheating on you, taking forever to reply back to you, do not waste your time writing a whole, and this comes from me, writing a whole Bible about how he broke your heart and how he's so evil, how he's a bad guy, and you hope he goes to hell. Don't waste your time, because all you're doing is pat him on the back, like, oh man, my dick got these bitches crazy. That's all you're doing. The best way to F up a F-boy is to pretend like you didn't notice that he's gone. I don't even message you thank you for the date anymore. I'll message you when you message me. I'm not chasing after you. Because all you're doing is stroking their ego. And how much you want to bet the people that you don't message? 2 things. They're either going to contact you and be thinking like, why isn't this bitch crazy over me? Everybody, normally they sending me good morning, good night texts and trying to see what I'm doing. Because you're a doctor. You're a lawyer. You're an engineer. You're used to girls being all over your dick because they're trying to secure that money. They want to marry you. But when you meet somebody like me, and I'm like, I've already dated 50 doctors before. I don't care. You're a lawyer. Yep, I dated a millionaire. I don't care. Been there, done that. I'm older now. I don't fall for that shit. Because why do I care about your career, your money, when it's not going to be spent on me? Men want to control and manipulate you and use the fact that they have a career in education to get whoever they want to. And when you don't fall for their shit, when you have enough brains to be like, nope, that's not enough for me, it makes them angry because they're like, you're supposed to, like, get a line, bitch. Like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you following the routine? All of you supposed to be bowing down and thirsty to suck my dick because you're all supposed to be competing for me. And when you don't play that game, it's not that they want you. They just want everyone to want them. And now they almost feel like they do want you because the fact that you're not thirsty for them makes them like you more. Now they become crazier over you because they're like, everybody else is messaging me daily, sending me photos, trying to arrange dates, and this one girl, she thinks she's too good for me. Like, bitch, I look better than you. I got more money. Whatever the case is. They don't know how to handle that. They're used to never being told no. They're used to girls chasing after them. And when you stop doing that, you become instantly more attractive in their eyes. To be honest, it works in reverse too when you're talking to a beautiful girl. For men that are listening, it throws them off because they're used to men being thirsty and desperate and sending them multiple messages and trying to go out to impress. I'm not encouraging you to be a jerk because that shit don't work with me. I've had guys try to play that crap with me. It's like, nope. Bye. I'd rather have a dude that's thirsty for me. But I will say psychologically, it does get you at first because you're like, why isn't this dude, thirsty for me? So it goes both ways. But what I'm really trying to get at is this. Men don't like being cheated on. They know how awful it feels. But they make up excuses because anything sounds better than saying, I can't control my dick in my pants. Dudes should be short, balding, everything else, and be angry because you want them to have an education and degree so that they can take care of not only you, but your children. And sorry, but maintaining your lifestyle does not mean going out to, millionaire spas, etc. Like how men keep trying to paint the picture. It's masculine to be a provider. And sorry, just because I can't provide for myself doesn't mean I want to. I look good too. You can be tall as a woman. Does that mean that you want a little itty bitty short baby-sized man? No. Do attractive men suddenly want ugly bitches? No. You still want girls that look good. So then why do we not have the option to choose somebody that looks better than us? Or in this case, that has more money than us? Because the reality is, yeah, we have money now. But do I still want to be working after I have children? No. Do I want to do it because I want to? Yes. Do I want to have to do it? Otherwise, we don't have money to pay bills? No. Sorry to break it to you, but you don't have a pussy. You don't have a uterus. You don't give birth. You're not a woman. Men are stronger than women. They're built differently, literally. They think differently. And with all of that stuff said and considered, the one feeling that we do have in common is jealousy over our partners. Men do not like to be cheated on. Okay, you understand that. Women don't either. So why is it only okay for you to do it? Oh, because my dick can plant magic seeds. You know, it's like a chia pet. You know, we can grow babies. Like, you have all these dumb excuses under the sun. But it's like, okay, well then what if we want to cheat without having babies? We just want to get a handbag and food from another man. That's not enough. That makes you angry. Or not that that's not enough. That's too much. Bitch, you can't do that. That's how men feel about it. It's okay. When you want to, you can justify it. But if a woman says, well, my man don't make a lot of money. He's an average Joe, so I'm going to cheat with the next door neighbor. You know, at least he makes $100,000 a year. That wouldn't be an okay answer. You'd be pissed off. But for you, despite the fact that you should be happy that this woman even chose to marry you, she should be accepting of the fact that your short, ugly ass is cheating on her, even if you don't make a lot of money. Because let's face it, men don't use the excuse that they have money to cheat. They think they should be able to at any salary. You got men making $30,000, $20,000 a year that, you know, trying to find a fucking harem and whatnot. And it's like, you should be glad that any woman is dumb enough to marry your broke ass. These men nowadays want men that act like niggas. They want a woman that works just as hard as a man does, while also not wanting what a man wants. Meaning that you're not supposed to get jealous when a guy cheats on you. You should be happy that at least you have somebody to come home to you. That's a sad ass miserable life. No thanks. And that's why I said, if you're gonna play games with that, women are smart nowadays. We have options. We'll just move on to somebody else who doesn't. Simple. And men don't like that because they keep trying to look back to the old days where it used to be okay, where you can beat on women, cheat on them. They had no education, no jobs, couldn't get a divorce. They were trapped with you. Crazy. And it's funny because I keep hearing all the stuff where they're trying to make it seem like women are the ones killing marriages and relationships. No. We've exposed how trash men treat women, how they treated them like property. And now because you're having to change the way that you approach women, the way that you attract women, that angers you. You missed the good old days where you could do whatever you want to, you know, say whatever you want to women, and it was okay. And now that you're being held accountable, women are like, nope, I'm not dealing with no Cletus beats me. When women decide that they don't want that shit anymore, now they're the problem. So instead of you saying, maybe I should get a higher education, maybe I should make more money, no, women should lower their expectations. They shouldn't want a hypergamous relationship. They should be okay with whatever I bring to the table. You're supposed to be a provider, just like a woman is supposed to be the domestic caregivers, take care of the home. And all of this talk about feminism originally is supposed to be about equality when we're doing the same work. It is not about being married and splitting everything 50-50. Because really, splitting 50-50 doesn't always mean doing literally the equal same work. It means having a fair share. You do the stressful part of working to bring in money. I do the stressful part of raising our children, taking care of the house. And your needs sexually too. It is a fair trade-off. We both handle two separate things. It's not supposed to be we both work jobs, we both do the housework, because we're both not carrying the babies, are we? We both don't have the same strength naturally, do we? Because genetically, as men versus women, you are stronger as a man. You can do more than I can, and that's just facts. And it's funny that men hate feminism any other time. But when it comes to the idea of dating and marrying broke men, then they're like the point of feminism. Interesting. I literally saw somebody leave a comment where they were like, how women were talking about equality, whatever, and, you know, but then they always talk about how they want a man that, you know, has more money than them. They want a millionaire, whatever. And it's like, that's not what feminism is about. Feminism is the ability to vote. Feminism is the ability to have control over your body. Feminism is the ability to get a divorce, to get an education, to be able to say no, to walk away from stuff. Feminism is not us deciding that we want a man that is, making no money and has a shitty ass job. Feminism is us working the exact same job and getting the same salary. That's not the same thing. Wanting a man that makes more money than you. Yeah, you should get paid more when you have a different career, or better yet, when you have a job and I don't. That's not the same topic. But where there shouldn't be a difference is, if we're both working as neurosurgeons, we started at the same time, we have the same education, same degree, you should not be getting paid $50,000 more a year than I am because you're a man. That's feminism. That's equality. What you're talking about is totally different. As a teacher, I hope that my husband as a doctor is making more than twice what I am. That's understandable. These arguments just get stupider and stupider. The reality is, the real reason why people aren't getting married nowadays, it's expensive to get married. A lot of people have been given all these bitter ideas about why you shouldn't get married because we have tons of family members putting negative stuff inside of our minds. We see all of these cases of people getting sued and prenups and all type of ghetto crazy crap and drama that scared everybody from wanting, make them not want to get married. And nowadays, with casual sex being so readily available, I said this before on Patreon, but it's like, why buy the cow when the milk is free? If I can play bachelor for the rest of my life and I can still have sex with beautiful women, for a lot of men, they don't find a purpose anymore. I can already get free pussy or very cheap. Whereas for women, for a lot of us, it goes the same way. Why should I even feel this way, to be honest with you, deep down inside. I do want to get married, don't get me wrong. But I have definitely thought about it several times. Why get married when by not getting married, I have more and better experiences? I can go out to expensive restaurants every single day because I'm dating different men. I can get gifts every single day because I'm dating different men. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? I can get experiences that my husband would not give me because he'd be like, didn't we just have yakiniku last night? Didn't I just buy you a handbag yesterday? Like, do you see what I'm saying? That type of stuff will get old. I can play the same game, but see, men don't want to hear that part of it. But the reality is, it's true. The real reason why people aren't getting married is we've both decided, why buy the cow when the milk is free? Why should I settle down and marry you when all I'm going to do, I'm going to get fatter, I'm going to get uglier and older, you're going to leave me for a 20-something-year-old girl, you're going to be cheating on me, you're going to change, we're going to inevitably get a divorce. Why settle down then? Whereas for you, it's like, why settle down when all she's going to do is have babies, run off with them, whatever, we're going to get a divorce, she's going to use it for my money, pay spouse support, whatever. That's how people think of it nowadays. It really comes down to the fact of, I can get what I want without signing any papers, no government involved, for free. And there's a lot of dumb people that are falling for this. So, for example, women that are denying themselves marriage because they just want to keep a partner that has money or a partner that looks good. And when you do that, you're cheating yourself. Because these men, if you tell them, I'm not going to have sex unless I marry you, they be done talking to you. And that's another thing that men don't like to talk about so much. But it's like, the reason why our relationships are even having all these problems and whatnot is because we're dating for longer. People didn't used to do this back in the day. Your grandparents didn't date each other for 10, 15, 20 years before they got married. That's not the way that it worked back in the day. That's also the reason why casual sex is happening more than it used to. It's impossible to wait until you get... Like, back in biblical times, people didn't date each other for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years before getting married. You met someone, you decided that you liked them, you wanted to marry them, and this probably done in like about a month or two. Now, some people, you gotta date them for 3 months before you can even think about having sex with them. Do you see what I'm trying to say? And the reality is, which people don't like to think about this, but it's true. If somebody is really trying to be deceitful, it was going to happen at year 3, year 5, year 10, year whatever. Dating somebody for 1, 2, 3 years is not going to ensure that they're not crazy or that they aren't a bad person. You're just taking a gamble no matter how long you choose to date someone. Dating longer does not mean choosing better. And a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. It doesn't. You're taking a gamble because you can date somebody for 3 years and everything be fine, and then year 5 they turn crazy. People change after, deaths in the family happen. After, having children, losing a job, getting a better job, moving. Things can change with your health, your body, anything. That can affect your relationship, your sex life. So many different things that you have to think about. So dating longer isn't really necessarily helping anyone. I mean, it is important to learn certain things about somebody before you choose to marry them. But you can definitely marry somebody after meeting them within a month and end up being married for 10, 20, 30 years or for life. It does happen. Likewise, you can date somebody for 5 years and they still be a horrible, monstrous person and you didn't know about it. So that's pretty much it. I'm at almost an hour now. It's going to be over an hour by the time I'm done with this. But yeah, I just found it really interesting that men don't seem to understand what hypergamy is. They think of hypergamy as a woman getting a free lottery ticket and an infinite money bag. And that's not what most women are looking for. We are educated and have money ourselves, but we want to lower our lifestyle. And forget about, let's say that we don't have money, don't have education. Since the beginning of time, women have wanted men that can provide and take care of them. That's just the way it is. Just like how men have always wanted women that are young and beautiful since the beginning of time. That's how it's always been. And it's never going to truly change. So we can deny ourselves what we want as women. But to be honest, normally when you meet women that choose to marry down, it's not because they wanted to, even though they try to sell it that way. It's because they felt like they had no choice. If you're not an attractive woman, you can't really choose to have a man, that has, there are people that do, but you get what I'm saying? We're not talking about exceptions to the rule. Sorry, my phone. We're talking about on average. You cannot choose that. You're dealing with whatever you've been given. You didn't have the option to choose a man that made money or that was handsome. So you married down because that was who was attracted to you. That was your option to marry. It's not because you wanted to do that. Your family can try to encourage you or discourage you or whatever from marrying a guy that makes less. But the reality is maybe that's the only type of man that really wanted you based off how you look and how he looks and how much money he made. So a lot of factors go into it. There's a lot of women denying their real circumstances. But, I'm satisfied with my man that works 7-Eleven. Ma'am, you're a 2. That's all you were going to get anyway. And the other problem, too, is, which I did like that Kevin Samuels did talk about this, women don't understand that men aren't attracted to what they're attracted to. Men do not care about your education. For the most part, we're not talking about unicorn men. We're talking about on average. They don't care about your education. They don't care about your looks. They can see these. Not your looks. They don't care about your education or your career. But they do care about your looks. They can see that you're uneducated. They can see you don't have a good career, and they choose to ignore it because they would rather have a young and attractive partner than an educated and rich one. I said this earlier. Likewise, as a woman, we can see those two things too. We see that Pookie looks better than, Chad. Chad is normally the name used for the attractive guy. But you get what I mean? We can see the difference. We know. But we decide, I would rather have financial security. In fact, women are the ones thinking more logically. Money is a need in life. Looks are not. You do not need to have a beautiful wife. She can still cook, clean, give birth to children. She doesn't even have to be young to do that. Whereas for money, try telling the electric company that you love your wife when your lights are off. That probably is the only way you're going to love her too. But you get what I'm trying to say? Try telling them that when you owe money. Your love, your relationship does not pay your bills. So yeah, I just find it really interesting that men understand history, science, prehistoric stuff when it comes to the idea of basically being a cheater, when they want to spread their seed everywhere. But then it doesn't register in their mind. Women can get pregnant more than once within a year by 2 different men. And who's to say that just because we can only get pregnant once within those 9 months, that means we have to be monogamous for life? Okay, during my pregnancy, just because you're fathering the baby that I'm carrying, I don't mean I gotta be faithful to you. I can still get dick from somebody else, just like how you can get pussy from somebody else. Who says that the end all has to be, I have to get pregnant, if I don't have the ability to get pregnant back to back within the same day? Then my situation is no longer valid. I shouldn't cheat. I should be a monogamous person. But because you can impregnate 100 girls in, an hour, that justifies you being a cheater. Okay. Male logic for you. And again, the funny thing is, all of the stuff is coming from people that call themselves being so hardcore red pill. And it's like, how can you be an alpha male and red pill when the very definition of masculinity is based around work and being strong? And you're too much of a weak ass pussy to go and sit down in a fucking classroom for 3 to 4 years to earn a bachelor's degree and choose a career that results in money. Y'all going for everything from IT to game design to fashion, photography, entertainment, anything else but degrees that pay money. Then y'all get mad that women look over you and choose the guy that went to school for a smart degree and makes good money. That's masculine? Sounds like a bitch to me. But alright. Have fun. And sorry to break it to you, but the reality is, if you're going to be with a man that has no money or be single, maybe it is better to be single than to recreate and have a family with somebody you're going to be struggling for the rest of your life. Because who wants to have children and have to constantly think, how am I going to pay this bill? How am I going to afford daycare? And you're literally working, giving away all of your money to paying for daycare, childcare, medical expenses. When you can marry somebody that can do all this stuff with ease, you all can have the best top of the line insurance and have everything taken care of. I wouldn't even want to get married or have children if I'm going to be struggling. So yeah, maybe it is better for you to, get a dog and die alone, if you, so to speak. Why have children or get married? Well, all you're going to do is struggle for the course of a relationship. If I have to play both roles and be both a man and a woman in a relationship, why would I marry you? How are you red pill alpha male when getting a job and an education has you in tears and angry? You have the easier... It's easier for you. If I were a man, I would be set for life. I already have a nice place. I have a good salary. I could get any man that I want to if things were fair, but they're not. And the only reason why I have the dating options that I do, it is not because I live in Shibuya, Tokyo. It's not because I have a nice apartment on the top floor. Nope. The reason why I have the options that I do is because I'm viewed as attractive. And if I weren't, those options would plummet and go down. And even now, they're not as good as they could be. They're really good, but they could definitely be better. There's things that I can't change about myself. I could have light-colored eyes, light-colored hair. Sorry, that's my computer. I could have light-colored eyes, light-colored hair, white skin. I can give a whole list of things that can make me be seen as more attractive. In the country that I'm in, at least. There's some things that I can change, like losing weight. Some things that I can't, like having long, beautiful, luscious hair. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? There's things that will make me even more attractive, that will give me even more options. And honestly, I already feel like I have those options because I have a lot of dating options, might I add. My patrons have seen the type of dates that I've gone on. And I talk about it here on YouTube too. So like, even with that, there's a level that I have not met yet. Whereas for men, you don't even have to be a millionaire. Just making $100,000 a year will give you access to almost every available woman. Almost. And you can easily make more than that by getting the right degree. It doesn't just benefit you in the dating world. People respect you more in your day-to-day life. Your friends and family do. People admire you, look up to you. There's so much you can do with a good degree that does not benefit women. They have the exact same education as you. I don't want to hear shit from y'all. Don't ever tell me you're an alpha male, you're red pill this, red pill whatever, when you can't understand that women and men are different. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. Don't ever tell me that you're an alpha male, red pill this or whatever, when the idea of doing what men are supposed to do, which is provide and protect, makes you upset. Because no man in his right goddamn mind is going to tell you that he can provide with a $65,000 salary. Or a $30,000 salary. How are you providing for 3 people, yourself, and at least 1 kid and a wife? You can't. Wake up and smell the coffee. You're a man, I'm a woman. There should be differences in the relationship. You don't hear women complaining about how her man will let her fuck him in the ass. Do you? No. We recognize that he's a man and there's some shit that he might not want to or like to do. There's differences between us. And we recognize if you want that sort of relationship, you want that kinky shit, then you're going to be looking at not a normal man, okay? You're looking for something else. Just accept it. What you want is not common. We understand that. There's differences. Things that we want that men don't want. Things that men want. Things that men want that we don't want. Things that we want. How can I say that? You get what I'm trying to say. There's things that women want that a man doesn't want. There's things that a man wants that women don't want. There's differences. We have to accept that. You all hate the idea of feminism until it benefits you. When you don't want to pay for the date. When you don't want to be judged by your money. Then it's also funny because, again, this goes back into other talks. Men also don't like girls caring about height. But it's like, you all do care about height. And you normally do care about looks. Those are two things that women also can't help. So, and then even using the weight excuse is like, a lot of men are also overweight, just like how a lot of women are. So using the, what's your weight thing is also dumb, because weight can actually fluctuate and change. You can lose and or gain weight. And it's not a good way of judging a woman, because depending on how tall you are, weight looks different at different heights. 200 pounds on a 5 foot tall woman is extremely fat. 200 pounds on a 5'10" or a 6 foot tall girl ain't that damn big. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It varies, and most people don't have a good sense of telling that. So, yeah. I'm done. I just find it's annoying and funny at the same time. Men get so angry about the idea of hypergamy. But it's like, you all choose these girls. Nobody told you gotta marry the 20-something, young, dumb, blonde girl that wants a rich man. That's the girl that you've decided you're attracted to. And because she's not gonna like you unless you get that, you're angry. You could always go for the ugly, big, Belinda White chick that has the PhD and, she's just ugly as fuck and she's fat. But you don't want her. You want beauty. So you've decided, I would rather sacrifice financial resources for a beautiful woman. And that's okay, because it works out perfectly. Because for women, we would rather sacrifice having a tall, handsome man for a man that is financially stable. We're thinking about different things. Men are thinking with their dick and sexually. They want a girl that looks good because it makes them look good. Whereas a woman, we want a man that makes us look good financially. We want a man that can provide for us, give us experiences for both us and our children that help us take care of the family. We want to feel secure. Men want to feel like they're capable of having an attractive woman on their arms. They like that. They want to be seen with a beautiful woman. They want to have sex with beautiful women. That's why they're willing to pay for sex more than women do. They're driven by sex. Women are driven by money and security. It doesn't make us bad, just like how it doesn't make you bad. That's why all of these videos that talk about this, they never bring that up. They always try to paint it as women bad. Women want money. It's not fair. Okay. Money can be gotten at any age, any stage, in any way. You don't even have to have a career for that. Or a good degree for that, I should say. Whereas for women, the most beautiful 10 will become an 8, 7, 5 over time. 3. She's going to age. She'll lose the ability to have children. Things will get looser. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? Your body changes. You age, biologically as a woman, like time goes on. You can't help that. Anybody can make money, get an education. You should want to have that for yourself, even if you're not even attracted to women. Why would you not want that? But the crazy thing, like I said, is that these men constantly try to preach about the olden days, but they conveniently forget about the things that women weren't allowed to do back then, too. And that's a fallacious argument. Something being old and traditional does not make it okay or right. People used to own slaves back in the day, too, and I'm pretty sure that your families had a lot more money because you got a ton of free labor from black people. Does that make slavery okay now, too? Let me stop asking y'all. But you get what I'm trying to say? If we're going to talk about the olden days, there's a lot of old crap that took place that was wrong. Doesn't make it right. There's a lot of things that we want to do by nature because we're human beings. Doesn't justify it or make it right either. So, yeah. All I'm trying to say is hypergamy is not a matter of girls being gold diggers. There's a difference between hypergamy and being a gold digger. Likewise, there's a difference between a man wanting a young and attractive woman and a man being a P-word person. Wanting a woman that looks young and beautiful is not the same as liking underage girls. That's a different thing. Men can understand that, but for some reason they don't understand the idea of a woman wanting a man that can provide for them. And provide does not mean put a pack of hot dog and ramen on the counter every day. Or have just enough to pay the bills. No, we shouldn't be struggling inside of our marriage. You can easily make more money. That's not hard to do. You can easily go back to school and get higher education. That's also not hard to do. Women are not asking for a lot. A few years invested now will give you a lifetime of having the best pussy available to you. As a woman, Do all the work you want to for the next 10, 15, 20 years, and you still can't get any man because you're not going to be seen as beautiful in every man's eyes. But money is equal across the board. A millionaire is a millionaire, no matter what. A girl that you think is a 10 is going to be a 6 or a 7 to somebody else, or even lower. I use myself as an example. One man will look at me and be like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Another man will look at me and be like, ew, somebody stick their dick inside you. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Everybody has their own taste. That's just facts. You can find the most beautiful woman in the entire world you've ever seen, and you will literally have men look at her and be like, she's okay. Or, she's ugly. Everyone has their own taste. Beauty is extremely subjective. But money is not. It's decided. This is worth X amount. This is valuable. So, I'm done. All I gotta say is this. Please, 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 please stop complaining about hypergamy. Because there are tons more pros for this on the man's side than there are for women. Making money allows you to choose any girl that you want. Look at it that way. Making money benefits not only yourself, but your children. And if you really love this woman, you shouldn't be focused on trying to make things fair or whatever to begin with. You love your partner and you're taking care of her because you love her. Likewise, if she's not truly a gold digger, she's equally matching you in other ways, not financially. You're being taken care of sexually, domestically, and your children are being cared for. And if that's not happening, then you probably do have a gold digger in your hands. But you see what I'm trying to say? Stop looking at the extreme scenario of it. Because that's not what most women are after. Most women simply want a man that is masculine, that can provide for them. We are not meant to work until the day we die. We are supposed to be at home raising our kids and taking care of them. Do you think they had daycares back in the biblical days too? Because I can assure you, if they did, they definitely weren't like how they are now. It didn't work that way. We're not supposed to be working after we have children. We're not. You should not be worried about the maternity leave packages at your job and having to take 3 months off and then figure out daycare. That's not normal. It's not. You want to be a woman so bad? Then be one. Get a sex change, and then you can date men too, and then you can be hypergamous if it makes you feel better. Because how many men are going, even now, you have the option right now. We don't need times to change. There are women right now, but they're not the women that you want. You want to have your cake and eat it too. You think that you're deserving of a woman that looks good, but that's also willing to work like she's ugly like a man. That's the truth. Because the reality is, if you really cared about being fair, then date a masculine looking man. Date an ugly ass bitch that got a good ass degree. Date a fat, ugly ass, tall, Amazon looking hoe. 6 foot tall bitch. PhD. Ugly in the face. Fat, big back, big body bitch. Bob the Builder looking bitch. Date one of those girls. You're not going to. Why? Because they're beneath you. You still want beauty. You want a beautiful young thing. Oh! So you understand it when it works for you, but when it's not working in your favor, then you're angry at the world, women are bad, etc. So, I'm done. I made over an hour video talking about this. Yeah, give me your 2 cents down below. But do you see what I'm saying? Hopefully men get what I'm trying to say. Sorry, I got all yelly and got loud anyway. I tried not to, but I couldn't help it. But it's like y'all hear what I'm trying to say? We both want different things, and that's okay. We're both attracted to different things, and both of us have different reasons. Women want security. It makes sense. Why would you not want money? Men want beauty. Why would you want to have sex with somebody that's ugly and reproduce them? Like, it just makes sense. We want separate things, and we both come together in different ways. Being a team does not mean that you're doing the exact same work. Think about when you're doing a group project. You're probably all working on different stuff. You're not literally doing 50% of the exact same thing. One person might work on, doing the presentation and presenting it. The other person might be working on putting together the design of the poster board. Like, do you see what I'm trying to say? You do different stuff and it all comes together to make one big, perfect presentation and project. Your marital partner should not be doing the exact same thing as you. You shouldn't want them to. And if you do, okay, then date somebody that's willing to do that. But don't get mad because the options that are available aren't what you want. Because the reality is there are women that are willing to pay 50-50. There are women that are willing to allow you to be a stay-at-home dad. But you don't want those girls because they're not cute enough. They're not young enough. Likewise, we don't want men that are broke. We don't want men that don't have anything to give us stability. We don't want that. And for a lot of us, like myself, I grew up in a household like that. I don't want struggle love. I don't want my children to go through that. So, give me my 2 cents down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, don't forget to leave a comment to let me know what you think. Let's have a good discussion inside the comment section. If you enjoy these type of videos and you want to know more about me and my personal life, please consider becoming a patron. The link is in the description box. It's $5 per month. You will get access to over 100 videos instantly upon signing up. Otherwise, if you want to hear more about my thoughts on dating, working, studying, living in Japan, please be sure to go to my YouTube channel's homepage. You can use the search bar there. I have tons of playlists on different topics. I have a video on just about everything you could think of. So please be sure to search there. If not, you can also send me an email and I will try my best to answer any of your questions that you might have in a future YouTube video. Otherwise, I would appreciate if you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Comic95. I have a Snapchat and TikTok at Comic the Savior, and a Facebook fan page at Comic95 the Savior, and a blog at Comic95.com. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for watching, and I hope you watch another video.